Okay. Uh, it has been a fair bit. Weird for me to say this for like the 30th time, but only on camera for this time. I've been doing these test streams over and over again, so I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I definitely am, but you guys don't know that. Hi, everybody. I'll say it, I guess, because it's been a few years now. I'm Sawyer. I'm actually live, and this is the new rig that I've been working on, the new puppet model, the new background. Yes, I still have my pride flag up. I spent so much time making it, and I'm gonna let it hang out there for at least a few of these because I put so much work into it, and I don't want to wait a whole year to put it back up again. Today I'm just kind of hanging out, doing a little bit of work on the intro. Thought maybe I'll talk some about how things have been for the last few years, and if anybody stops by to say hi, I'll absolutely talk to you if you have any questions or, just want to say hi. I know it's the middle of the night. I don't know. I felt like doing this. So, I have a remote over here for controlling my stream, so all of this is very fresh and new. So what I'm working on here is the new intro. As you can see, it's a stop motion, so this is very raw and rough, but yay. Very excited for it. It already looks so good, but the colors are kind of weird, so I'm going through right now and just sort of drawing little masks over everything so that I can select the colors that I want. I can make the pencil a little brighter, I can make the sharpener a little brighter, that kind of stuff, without affecting my colors any, because I did not quite set this up properly when I did. Yeah, so and I already started. I was pretty far into this, I think last night, so I'll just keep going and chat a little bit. I don't think I have any sort of audio triggers to know if I get any comments. I don't know if that's a thing. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if that's a thing or not. I'm excited to find out if it's a thing. So where have I been? It has been a very long time. Long story short, I know a fair bit ago I hit 1,000 subscribers. I had all of these big plans. I was super excited for celebrating hitting 1,000. I actually still have I had a Word document on like Google that was the 1,000 changes. That was like all these things I wanted to do to my puppet when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I was so excited to start doing all of that stuff. And of course, the moment, like the day or so that I hit 1,000, the power source in my computer died. So all of a sudden, like, can't do anything. Luckily I had already like recorded some stuff, so I thought everything was going to be fine. My power source was still under warranty, so I didn't have to worry about how expensive that was definitely going to be. But unfortunately, it turned out that I would have to send back my power source and then have them inspect it, and then they would either fix it or send me a new one depending on how it's going. Sorry, I'm looking at my rigging right now and it looks like my camera's shut off. What happened? Of course you do this when I'm live. Why? Goodness sakes. This happens like every so often that it just randomly stops seeing me. There we go. Yeah, it's like the webcam's turning off. I don't at all understand it. I'm so confused by it, and it's frustrating as all get out. I've been using, what is that? It's Live 2D and something else for this section, and never gives me this problem until now. Also, there's a mosquito in my office. That's fun. Where was I? Oh yeah, so so I had to send back my power source from my desktop. They would have to what the wait, what's happening here? Ruh-roh. Okay, that the curse of using like 3 computers for one streaming rig is that my Wacom tablet does not summon the cursor back like I thought it would. Oh, I hope that didn't cause any problems. Well, I'm learning a lot. It's not even it's barely 6 minutes into this, and I'm learning so much right now. Granted, this is better than the time that I did this and worked for like 3 hours on this animation, and never changed my screen over so that you could actually see my screen. I keep looking to make sure. Yes, you can see my screen right now. Oh yeah, so I sent the power source back to them so that they could take it out, or take a look at it, get it fixed, whatever have you. That I believe was going to take roundabouts of 2 months to do. I'm just gonna keep that turned on. And there was no way to expedite that. There was no way to pay to, have faster shipping, none of that kind of stuff. It was just, it would move at the pace that it would move at, unfortunately. Which is just, it's how it goes, sometimes. And I tried to make the 1,000 changes that I was so excited about during that time, thinking, hey, I've been forced into a break, essentially. That didn't turn out because the rig that I had over all of these years, it took me 2 years to initially create the rig, and then over the years I kept modifying it and messing with it and that kind of stuff. And finally I got a little bit of yellow right there. Initially there were problems with the Puppet rig, because when I first started working on this and messing around with being a VTuber and all that stuff, first off, the term VTuber didn't even exist yet, not to my knowledge at least, or at least not commonly. I don't know, maybe I was inventing it, who knows. I highly doubt it. I'm not that cool. But I did, gosh, my head is so scattered tonight. Maybe this was a bad idea. Let's see, when I was first working on it, the software that goes into VTubing that, everyone uses today, I'm using, I think, 3 or 4 right now that are all pretty commonplace in the VTubing community. All of this stuff was still, being invented, essentially, and so they were crazy full of bugs and glitches, and you never knew what tomorrow was going to bring, essentially. So my original rig was so heavily destroyed, basically, because it was so ridden with glitches and bugs and things from the original versions of the programs that, and that keeps happening too, that essentially, for example, you guys have seen that I'll show you this. I'm hoping this doesn't destroy anything. I have the ability on a whim to change whichever controller I'm using. It does get weird because of whichever code and scripting I'm using to control, whatever controller I'm actually using. Yeah, so my arms are in weird places right now, as you can see. But that's because if I was running the proper code, it would connect my arms to my hands, that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a good one. That one makes a little bit more sense. All of these different hands that you're seeing are, how do I put it? Essentially, they're supposed to be hidden. They're supposed to be off to the side somewhere so that or they're supposed to be hidden away and invisible so that the program doesn't see them and isn't constantly rendering them, and I would be able to switch while I'm gaming to whatever controller that I need. That didn't work initially. That was just not possible. So the only way that I can make it work, and it was a glitch. It was supposed to be able to work like that, but the glitch said no, that's not going to happen. I believe the corridor crew refers to it as Adobe. Adobe would not allow it, and I just had to deal with that. So I found the only way that I could deal with it, which was just having all of the puppet models and all of the controllers and everything sort of like hanging off screen, essentially. So like, here would be my puppet model, here would be all of the stuff that you guys wouldn't be seeing, but they're still being activated and used all the time, no matter what game I'm playing, kind of thing, because all of my controls ran to everything. Yeah, hard to believe that it failed. Right, hard to believe that it absolutely shut down on me. So that roundabouts, when my power source failed and everything on me, I attempted to find ways to fix that. I attempted to add more stuff in, but even though it had been several years since I initially created the puppet model and the program had been updated over and over again, that, wasn't that shouldn't have been an issue anymore. Well, no, I still had to deal with it because I had saved it into my file working kind of stuff. Oh, it was fun. So I had, in the end, this... Is my arm not attached to my hand anymore? Yeah, it's not. Whoops. Yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get for changing my puppet model midway. Oh, looks like somebody hopped in for a sec. Okay, that's fair. This isn't for everybody, I imagine. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so I'm probably just gonna leave my arm like that, I imagine. I don't think I can... Can I fix that? I think I know how to fix it. I'm worried to try it. No, I'll go for it. I'll just hang out and talk for a sec. Yes. Oh, shoot. Yeah, so this is one of the many fun things that I just get to deal with behind the scenes. I forgot that I fixed all of these green lines that are hanging out around me, but it is. I'm gonna use this mostly as a list for reminding myself what things I need to fix. I might stick with that one. Ah, there we go. I have to be careful because I know I don't have all of my costumes set up, so if I keep going, I do have a shirtless model that it's going to run into at some point in there, essentially. Gosh, I keep forgetting where I'm at when I'm talking here. I'm enjoying this, though. I'm having a good time. So, let's see. Power source failed, need to be fixed. Oh, yeah, so the puppet model that I had made had all of these problems from years and years of the program being updated and being fixed and changed, and then having new glitches that are now accidentally being worked in that have different workarounds that I'm having to use, that kind of stuff. So in the end, by the time I got the power source back, I think I did one video showing off the quote-unquote new puppet that I had made and how excited I was for that. But unfortunately, it was so incredibly glitched that my computer could no longer run it. And as much as I want to blame the computer for all of this and just say, no, I was fine, like, I didn't do anything wrong. No, the initial version of all of this, when I first started creating the puppet rigging and everything, was in a very different place. And I did not create any defaults in terms of, like, the sizing. So all of the images of my hands were, like, 5 times the size of my body. And there's like 105 pictures of my hands originally. So like it was a mess for it to constantly be loading things and, you know, playing games and all that stuff. I'm amazed that it lasted as long as it did. To be entirely honest with you, it shouldn't have. My computer was a real champ in those days. But I think like the last videos that I uploaded to the channel that did have that puppet model did not work out great, to say the least. And I remember I ended up like actually recording the rest of what's it called? I recorded the rest of the like Portal Flash game using that puppet. I think I recorded like 3 or 4 times, and it kept glitching and erasing everything. So I'm hoping this one's the one. I have done so much work over the last year or so while I can. I'll get to that. But I have done an immense amount of work trying to get this all set up and fixing all of my animation work, fixing all of the artwork to more what I want it to be, adding a little bit more movement in spaces where I want them. Little fun note. I know that this makes 0 sense out of context, but whenever you do eventually see the logo, the tip of my pencil wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be, so this is just some blue tack that I put on the end because I realized it made it look more like a pencil, but it was dark enough that it wasn't being affected by the blue screen, thankfully. I genuinely did not think of that when I was when I was working on it. So let's see. So after working on the puppet model, or just realizing that I needed to work on the puppet model, I don't know how much people remember of that long ago, but essentially, let's see, I did have schoolwork that I was doing. I talked about it every now and then, the medical schoolwork that I was doing. The unfortunate realization that came out of that, I did finish school. I did get, not a degree, but I got like certified in what I was doing. And the moment that, like, hey, now it's time to get a job kind of thing, the realization set in very quickly that this is not a job you can just immediately apply for. And this is a job that you need to have like 8 to 10 years of experience in an entirely different job to be able to do. That wasn't anywhere in the pamphlet. So I was stuck with a certification that I essentially couldn't use, and no means of truly ever being able to use it, because going to school for this kind of thing, or getting work for what I was trying to do, simply could not happen. There was no way it was going to happen, because I would need a bunch of experience in a different setting to be able to get that kind of job. I'm trying to be as vague as possible here, can you tell? So ultimately found out I wasted my time. That was bad. I worked for, I think, 6 or 7 months as the manager of a diner, believe it or not. And as much as I want to say that was fun, it had its moments, but for the most part it was pretty bad. It was less a reflection on the diner and atmosphere and more a reflection on the employees, but you know, that's any job, right? I did have a good handful of family troubles. We had In the span of, I think, 6 months, we lost, sadly, 3 of our pets, entirely unrelated to each other. One from old age, another from just a lifelong disease, I guess, and the third was a pet that we had rescued after her foster family essentially sent her to the hospital due to the poor living conditions she had. We had no idea that things were going that poorly for her, and we didn't find out until, I think, 5 days after Christmas. Yeah, it was hard. And we are still dealing with it, to be honest, but that's how those things go sometimes. And that was making it hard to want to come back to recording and streaming and stuff like that, but I'm back for the most part. I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time sitting in front of the camera and talking. I've been playing a lot of games, like as little test streams, kind of like this. All hidden away, obviously, because I have no idea if I'm any good at this just yet. I wanted to kind of get my streaming legs back, so to speak. Maybe I can just manually keyframe this. I think this stopped spinning now. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, I could probably just keyframe that then. Let's see. More recently, we've had some things. Oh, yeah, so I no longer work at the diner. Thank God. As fun as it was for the time, I am glad that I did it, I think. I'm glad I can say I did it. Maybe that's better wording. I do not ever plan on going back there. But we do joke around because it's in my hometown. It's easy enough to stop by there, and frankly, the food is delicious. And it's a bit of a tradition of my best friend and roommate to stop by that diner before getting on an airplane. But the good news is I wore a mask literally every day that I worked at that diner, so I now have sort of like a Superman-esque complex there that if I ever want to go back but not be recognized, I just have to go without a mask and they'll have no idea who I am. Yeah, I'm just gonna keyframe that bit by hand in a second. So it's been a bit since I've actually looked at I've looked at all of this. I'm like, wait a sec, what's happening in this animation? So I now do work online. I do like data entry kind of work. We'll leave it at that. I do data entry work. It means that I can be at home, I can be with my family, I can take better care of the ones that I love, and, have a little bit better control over my schedule, which means potentially doing more stuff like this. Did my camera turn off again? Goodness freaking sakes. What is this? We go like weeks and months without a single problem, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh no, I'm gonna what, you're doing it live now? Yeah, you're doing it live on my terms. Come on, ignore my face. No one look at my face right now. There we go, there it is. Okay. Yikes. What the heck, why does it keep doing this? I worked so hard to get to this point, and all of a sudden, what is this? VTube Studio? I trusted you, VTube Studio, with literally one job, and it's to not turn my webcam off. Oh boy. I'm getting tired. It's getting late for me. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. for me, which frankly is like the peak timing for me to be doing work. Quite frankly, this is usually when I'm awake doing work anyway, but not talking to people. I stopped talking to people like 3 hours ago. Let's see. Did anything else notable happen? I mean, nothing I'll probably share online immediately. It looks like I might have some people hanging out with me here, though. So, if you guys, if anybody wants to say hi, has any questions, I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Oh, you know what? You know what I did before? I had a like conversation starter generator thing that helped fill the void. Let's see if I can pull that up again. Not would you rather questions. That gets dark real quick. Not that one. Who was the last oh my god, yes. Great Glob Almighty, this is a good one. Who was the last person you called or texted? I recently got a new phone number. Long story, pretty sure my phone number was sold to hackers or what have you, so, hated having to constantly deal with things like that. And just a number of people had my phone number that I didn't necessarily want to have my phone number. So I ended up, talking to our service provider and getting a new phone number. I've done that before a few times, and you know what? Each and every time it's gone just about the same. I've only ever gotten a new number that was genuinely new. This time I got, we'll say, a used phone number. I got a secondhand cell phone number, so I'm still getting messages from whoever owned it before me, and like more and more each day I'm kind of learning a little bit more about them. We'll call them Mike, I'll say. Mike was the guy who had my phone number before me, and I'm like every day I'm learning a little bit more about the guy. He donates to a lot of different charities, because a lot of the charity calls are coming in right now, and actually some pretty good ones. I'm pretty proud of the guy. I know where his kid goes to school because their child's lunch money, like they owe lunch money, I guess, and so the school was calling me with an automated message reminding me to reload funds into the lunch money system online, I think. Let's see, so who was the last person that I called or texted? I actually just texted his aunt who just messaged me. Glob Almighty VTube Studio. What the heck? I'm gonna reload it, so I'm not gonna look at you or anyone for a minute. This is insane, VTube Studio. Come on, guys. You have literally one job. So let's see. Yeah, I just talked to his aunt, or messaged them, just like an hour or two ago, because they were messaging to try and find out what Mike's address was so that they can send them something. And each and every one of these I've been, letting them know, hey, Mike no longer has this phone number, kind of thing. They've been removing me from lists and things like that. Okay, come on, you. There we go. Maybe. Who genuinely knows with this right now. So I've been going through very slowly and letting them know, hey, Mike no longer has this phone number, please stop messaging. And each and every one of them has been very nice about it and, removing me from mailing lists and stuff like that. His aunt seemed really nice. Apologized for contacting me so late, which is fine. I like to, I like to keep up on Mike now. I'm getting invested in him. What's funny, though, again, she asked if Mike could give her his mailing address so that he could, or so that she could, send him something in the mail. Funny enough, I actually know his mailing address. Let this be a lesson to everybody. If you change phone numbers, you may want to cancel whatever is going to them, because Mike has like service update notifications kind of stuff, and one of them included the like a notification that there would be a service interruption a few weeks, like last weekend or something like that, at his house, and it listed his address. So I actually know where Mike lives. I could have answered that question, but I don't know if he's on speaking terms with his aunt, and I don't want to get in the middle of that. But I did tell his aunt that if they do get a hold of Sam... No. Wait, what was the fake name I gave him? Mike? I think it was Mike. I'm gonna go with if Johnson's aunt happens to get a hold of Nathaniel, to please let Seymour know that I'm still answering June's phone calls. I think it was Mike. I told Mike's aunt to like, hey, say hi for me. I'm the guy who has his new phone number. I kind of want to talk to him now. I don't know. It's weird. I'm enjoying not messaging him. I mean, obviously I don't have his phone number, but like I'm enjoying like not knowing and just slowly piecing together his life from these little clues that keep popping up as text messages. Because I mean, I can't turn them off. You know, like there's no way to, you know, it's not like the mail where I can set up a forwarding address or something like that. Like I'm stuck getting this stuff until either he turns it off or I individually message things as they come in saying, hey, I don't, like, this isn't Mike anymore, kind of thing. So that's the best I'm doing right now, but boy is it fun. Boy is it fun to you know, to learn a little bit more about this guy that I'll most likely never meet. So who was the last person I called or texted? The aunt of Mike, who is the guy who previously had my phone number prior to me changing. I forgot that happened this year. That's been going on for the last handful of months. I found it funny because of like, I literally changed my phone number because I was getting so many spam calls and text messages, and I wanted them to stop. And then literally the next day, I get a phone call from an elementary school saying, hey, you owe money. and it's all automated, so the only way to get it to stop, it was happening literally every day, right at school closing time, in whatever state it was in, I think somewhere in the Midwest, and I'm on the East Coast, so I kept having to like work around the time schedule difference and stuff to eventually call them and say, hey, I'm not Mike. And they're like, oh, sorry about that, we'll pull your name off of the or we'll pull your phone number out of there so you stop getting the automated messages and everything. It was fun. They were nice. That's a great school. I'm glad Mike's sending his kid there. They seem really nice there. Very attentive to people's needs. So weird. Next conversation starter question: do you like to cook? Yes, I love to cook. Believe it or not, it took me this many years to finally get into what's it called, like meal prep, because like me and the missus love to cook, but she recently had many months ago another surgery that was pretty serious and is keeping her off her feet for a while she's recovering. So I'm not the only one who can cook. The others in the house can. At least for the most part. We recently have a family member move in, and that changes what I'm about to say. But prior to that, the others were capable of making food. The way I see it is like, I don't think they could quite do food for a group. It was more like they could make food for themselves, not for everybody. So I'm more in that space of I like to make big things of food. and you know, have that set up for everybody to enjoy in their own time. You know, keeping like extra stuff in the fridge, that kind of stuff. But yeah, we recently had a family member move in. They love to cook as well, and we've had a few times hanging out in the kitchen and, you know, doing food prep and things like that. Lots of fun. Do I need to? Oh, no, I don't have to. Okay, so now keyframing this. I probably could have done this easier, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll do our best here. Let's see. But yeah, I've actually just recently started writing down all of my many different recipes. I am so excited for my enchilada recipe. It is like the first thing to go in our family, and I just recently figured out like how to make my own pinto beans to go inside, and it is so insanely delicious that genuinely, I think I had like 3 enchiladas for dinner. And then, like, sitting at my desk right here, finished them, looked at the empty plate, and just went no, and went right back downstairs and made 3 more, because they were just so good. So I have to, I was joking around with the family that, like, I have to figure out now how to make, like Spanish rice or something like that to go with it, because truly this is a problem that I can't stop myself from eating all of these enchiladas, and we have to find a way to make them last longer than they are right now. Yeah, but I've been writing down those recipes and actually have not a cookbook, but like a shocking number of recipes that I didn't think I would have. And there, I don't know, I've always had the thought of making a cookbook someday. I don't know to what end necessarily, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do, I think. Let's see. I got a lot of food that I like to make, and a lot of food that's a lot of food that has like meaning to me, I guess, like history. Let's see. The next one I just saw pop up is, what is your favorite condiment? That is going to spark an entirely separate debate, I'm sure. Gosh, what was it? We recently had our family absolutely loves to fight on like useless semantics and that was one of them. Gosh, what was it? Like what exactly denotes a condiment, so to speak? Like what is a condiment truly? And I think to me, like what was it? Oh, that's right. My friend had some work he was doing that I believed involved like proofreading an essay or something like that, and it labeled something as a condiment, and it got us all into the argument of like, what exactly is a condiment, and like where does the line get drawn? And I think for me, it's like a condiment is however many like. It's the things that you don't name when naming the bulk thing. So like if I were to have, for example, a hot dog, I wouldn't say ketchup in saying I'm gonna have a hot dog kind of thing. If I'm having a ham and cheese sandwich, I'm not going to also list off mayonnaise kind of thing. And to me, that's what a condiment is. It's the stuff that doesn't get brought in right at the top, I guess. I don't know. Fun thought, I guess, of what exactly is a condiment, because my family is insane and we love yelling at each other for ridiculous reasons. Can I just fill this in? Yeah, I'm just gonna fill it in. Let's see. What is my favorite one though? That is a wild one. Favorite condiment? I mean, I hate to say ketchup. I hate to say ketchup. That can't be it. Am I that boring? Oh my gosh, am I actually that boring? That ketchup is my favorite. Why do people subscribe to me? What is wrong with me? No, Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to say Worcestershire sauce is my favorite condiment, so I at least sound interesting to myself, and I can sleep tonight. We're gonna go with that at the very least. Oh boy, I'm learning too much about myself with this. What was the last book you read? Ooh. That can't have been in school. No, it was at the dentist. It was at the dentist. It was one of the Five Nights at Freddy's books. Good glorious golly, why does my camera keep stopping like this? I don't understand. Yeah, I went to a dentist, I think like a year or two ago. I've also been since then, but that was the major one, and I ended up bringing a book with me because, I don't know, I was born in the 1920s, probably, at some point, and it was not the late, I think it was the second Five Nights at Freddy's book. What is that, Silver Eyes, I think, which was fun, and I have no idea what happens in any future ones, so no spoilers. I haven't watched a single game theory talking about it, because I, at some point, do want to read them, but I don't know. It's been a bit since I've been on the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom. What movies have you rewatched the most number of times? Movies is plural, so I'm accepting that as like a trilogy kind of, or like as a group of movies, and not just individual ones. Like, I've seen The Prestige a good number of times. I think I like probably have like an annual rewatch of Real Steel. I might just really like Hugh Jackman movies. Possibly. Let's see. Of like a series of movies, probably Back to the Future. Again, I'm boring. We learned this from my ketchup thing, but like, it's Back to the Future. It's so good, and like even still today, I'm finding things that I missed. You know, every single time I watch Back to the Future, I have a tendency of finding things that I never noticed before. I'm just gonna redraw that. Like, oh my gosh, I just recently learned that this is gonna be maybe interesting if you've seen Back to the Future. If not, sorry. Skip ahead, I guess. You're watching me draw mats on a pencil sharpener from the dollar store, so I don't know how interesting I really need to be right now. But I'm gonna do my best. In Back to the Future 2, when Doc gets struck by lightning and the DeLorean vanishes, there is a backwards 99, I think, like burned into the sky. And I remember seeing that as a kid and wondering what in the world that was supposed to mean, and never finding out. And then recently, there happened to be like an interview with, I'm just gonna draw the outlines. I'll simplify this. We'll go film it later. There happened to be, I think, an interview with Zemeckis that somebody asked about the backwards 99, because there's all these theories of like, oh, it's or something like that, and like there were all these theories about what it was supposed to mean and how it relates to the next movie, how he was going back in time or something. I don't know, the theories got weird, but the answer was interesting, and also one that I'm amazed. It answered an entirely different question that I didn't realize that I had. How exactly did Doc travel back in time? because the DeLorean has two very specific rules when it comes to... What is happening here? Is the sharpener not centered? The sharpener's not centered. Do I have it here? No. No, I don't have it on the... I made this animation like 7 months ago. Of course I don't have the sharpener anymore. Whenever they go back in time, or travel in time at all with the DeLorean, you require two things. The first is you require power and you require speed. You have to get up to 88 miles per hour, and you have to have, you know, the amount of energy required to fuel the flux capacitor and all that stuff. That is the whole basis of these films, right? It didn't dawn on me until that moment of, like, how exactly did the DeLorean get to 88 miles per hour when it was struck by lightning? We skipped that, right? It just got struck by lightning and went. But in the first movie, it was struck by lightning and went back in time, or went forward in time just fine. So did we not have to time that and get up to 88 miles per hour kind of thing? Like, how exactly did it time travel? Like, just floating in the sky? And the answer to that is the same answer to what the burning 66 or burning 99 or whatever that's floating in the air. They're the same answer, because when lightning struck it, it caused it to go haywire and spin wildly out of control at 88 miles per hour, sending him back to the cowboy era. And I love that so much. And it makes so much sense, and at the same time, I'm like, I'm ever so slightly disappointed that we didn't get to see that, because that was Back to the Future 3, was figuring out all the different ways to try to get the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour, and we had the pulling it by horses and pushing it by the train and all that stuff. Where was the large wooden whirligig like amusement park ride circa 1800s Coney Island that tried to spin the DeLorean at 88 miles per hour to send Marty back to the future, you know? I would have loved that. I would have loved that so much. But that was a really fun little thing to learn. I see people hopping in and out from the looks of it, and I don't have anyone who's commented yet. I have a whole system set up for seeing comments on the screen, so I'm waiting, but, you know, it's early. People don't want to talk. It's okay. I get it. Let's see. Yeah, if anyone hops in and wants to say hi, I'm here. So, movies I've rewatched most number of times, probably Back to the Future trilogy. Oh, do you prefer cats or dogs? We have both, and I was definitely a dog person growing up, but also my sister was allergic to cats, so it wasn't exactly a choice I was given. Is it really that close to the edge when I made this? My goodness. But now that we have both, I don't know. They're good for their unique purposes. Cats and dogs. I don't know if I would say. I don't know. I don't know. Probably dogs. Probably still dogs. I love our cats. They're great. You know. I literally, like, 4 hours ago was lying in bed and had one of them come up and lie in my lap, and that is such a rare event for me. We refer to it as being chosen, and I never get that. But it was, but I get that all the time with the dogs. Like, they will, to a point of, like, I can't roll over sometimes in bed because one of them is in my lap kind of stuff. Yeah, dog owners know that one. Yeah, I don't know. Probably still dogs. Probably still a dog guy. Okay, now that it's separated, this should be quite a bit faster. Yeah. These are supposed to be pretty general anyway. It's okay. Oh, looks like someone might be walking around in the hallway. Yeah. I wish them the best. But cats are cool too. I don't know. But at the same time, when it hits 5 a.m. and I'm hearing one very specific animal demanding that I get up and feed them their cat food, it's not that hard to to guess which I would prefer. What are your worst habits? Or what's one of your worst habits? One of my worst habits. Ooh. I was about to answer that like a Jake and Amir sketch. Like, not really a habit, but I'm really into making my own soda. Like, let's see. Yeah, like that. I do have a bit of an addiction to soft drinks. Definitely have an addiction to soft drinks. I don't know if I can call that a habit though, but yeah, because a habit is more like I'm doing this thing that I don't need to do, but I'm doing it for reasons unknown, right? I feel like that's what a habit is. Let's see, what's a thing I do that I really don't need to? I guess oh, you know what? My office gets a mess real quick because I have a tendency to make a mess while I'm working and doing things. Like if I'm crafting, if I'm sewing, if I'm, whatever thing I'm doing in here, if I, like, while I'm doing it, I want to put my time and creativity towards, thinking about the thing. And that often means, like, what was that? That often means, like, I'm gonna ignore whatever's going on with, whatever's going on in terms of, like, the trash buildup that I'm making. So, like, I'll be sewing, and I'll just, like, be tossing fabric into a pile on the floor, tossing loose threads onto the floor, kind of stuff, because I'm gonna deal with it eventually. It's, like, I want to focus on the thing that I'm sewing, so I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be, like, pretty messy. And that's not inherently a problem, because, like, when I do it correctly, it means that I'm gonna clean my floor, and I'm gonna vacuum and all this stuff, and I'm gonna have, like, a nice clean office when I'm done. The problem is more, because of my schedule and everything that I do, pretty regularly, it takes a while for me to finish a project. Case in point, when was the last video I uploaded? Like, case in point, literally this. This is, one of many projects that, like, yeah, it takes me months, if not years, to finish projects at times because of everything else that I do. And that often means that, like, my office will be just a travesty for weeks, months, and years because I haven't finished whatever project I've been working on, and I need to. I need to wrap those things up so that I can finally clean from them. I have a futon in here because I like having a cozy office, and I like the idea of a couch bed. And, that was my bed growing up was a futon, and it was one of the most comfortable beds I've had. But that's from, a teenager's perspective, so take that with an entire cellar of salt. But, like, the futon is more often than not in a bed or couch format. It is standing on end against the wall, giving me a little bit more space to have, like, a folding table set up with some kind of craft project on it. And to the point that I've genuinely considered inventing Murphy futon beds because every time that I look for it, I never see them around, and I feel like that's something that should exist but still doesn't, and it's gonna be me to do it. In the immortal words of NSYNC, it's gonna be me. So, worst habits, I'm not, I don't want to say messy, but determined. I get focused on things, and when I get focused on things, I tend to, like, prioritize certain things and leave other things not prioritized, and those things can be not prioritized for months. So I will, yeah, I need to fix those things more often. Oh gosh, all the incriminating questions. Would you eat food that fell on the floor? I am not only going to answer this with a hearty yes, but maybe I'll update my favorite condiments to to like floor dirt or something. Yes, I absolutely will eat food that fell on the floor. I am a strict adherent to the 5-minute rule. Like, I don't like food waste. I do not like food waste. I don't like wasting food, wasting money. It will depend sometimes on the condition of the floor. I'm not gonna say that, like, if the floor hasn't been swept in a while, I won't still eat it. It also, you know what, it also does depend on what the thing is. Like, how wet is the thing that I've dropped on the floor? You know, like, if this is like a French fry that I've dropped on the floor, yeah, I'm gonna still eat that French fry. If this is like, you know, obviously if this is like ice cream, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do it. But like, that is you know, as I discussed before, I do like to cook. I do a lot of meal prep, and that question is a quandary that comes up somewhat regularly for me. The answer is 9 times out of 10 yes, depending on the food and condition of the floor. The floor is never in a great condition when I'm cooking, as discussed by the previous thing. Oh my word, it is a habit. It is a habit, because I just had like 2 weeks where I was very slowly finishing all of the meal prep that I had bought the food for, that I did the big grocery store run for, and I didn't want to clean the floor until I finished doing it. So the floor of the kitchen was just an absolute mess and covered in like covered in shredded carrots for like 2 weeks because of me. Oh my word, what is wrong with me? I liked it better when I just liked ketchup. Things were easier back then. Oh, glorious golly. Yeah, I will absolutely eat food that fell on the floor. If I'm making food for other people, that is the food that goes to me. I think every home cook has that one. The, like, I spent 3 hours making this food for the family, and what's the least good looking one? That one's gonna go to me. That's the one that I'm gonna take. Not because anyone's forcing me, because I have family members who will absolutely eat the ugly ones, but because that is how I feel. And I'm not gonna force I don't want to force people into eating the food that that I, you know, that should be mine because I screwed it up. There we go. I'm just gonna run through and do these. I might be closing this off. I'm not sure. Because I think that's... I don't know, do I want to... Maybe I do my shirt too. Yeah, I might do a mask for my shirt as well. It's been honestly so long since I started doing this that I genuinely don't remember what my plans were for all of it. So yeah, I'm freestyling right now. I'm pretty sure the plan was to make masks of literally all the colors on the screen so that I could control them better. Oh yeah, no, that's one full mask for the pencil. I might pause between them though and make myself a soda. What do you carry in your purse or wallet? Oh, that's, you know what? That's another good habit of mine. I am definitely a hoarder. Well, hoarder might be a bad term. Pack rat? I think pack rat is a good one. Ah, my camera did it again. What is causing this? What in the world? Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can like reset it that way and call it. Yeah, okay, it worked. Yeah, no, I have a habit of, in particular, I'm a digital pack rat. In particular, I am definitely a digital pack rat, 100%. I think the longest I have worked for someone was Gizzy Gaza, and I had, I think up until recently, I still had the first editing project file from the first video that I had made for him, which I believe, like first Minecraft video that I had made for him. And I want to say that was like some Captain Underpants themed adventure, something like that. There was no reason to keep it. And, you know, although I thought I've had for a bit, I'm kind of considering like doing a stream that is just going through all of my live stream or all of my freelance work, because I have a lot of it, and it's a good chunk of what got me to here today. And there's a lot of stories, and a good chunk of them don't involve YouTubers. Like I have done commercial work even, and I don't know. I'm thinking it would be a lot of fun, and I might do that at some point. But it would require me to like collect all of this so that I could show it on the stream. And a problem I was having for a long time was that Gizzy has a habit of let's go with blue. Gizzy has a habit of deleting videos that he doesn't like anymore, and you know, thinks they're a little too cringy or don't work with the channel kind of stuff. And he recently just put all of them back up, and I was able to go through and find a handful of the ones that like I was really proud of. There's I think a Detective Pikachu one that he did that I actually created, like essentially a VTuber rig for Professor Oak as like on the phone, kind of like on a video phone call kind of thing. And I actually played him for that. I played Professor Oak in that little gag, and yeah, it was fun. I might I need to go through and download all those things before they vanish so that I can like hold on to them as clips. As well as like he re-released re-put out the rest of the Purge series that was previously hidden. Which has a lot of the like animation work that I'm really proud of in it. But I am going to take a very quick breather. Been doing this for I think an hour now. Yeah, just at the hour mark. Let's see. Notes for my future self watching this. I still don't have any drop frames. Looks like that's rolling good. I've switched over to using OBS now from previous. I think I was using Streamlabs before, and this is working significantly better. Still don't have any drop frames, despite being on like the fastest streaming speed. I think my main issue is just VTube Studio, keeps cutting out the webcam. I gotta figure out what's going on there. But other than that, really seems like everything else is working. Yeah, and my remote's still working too. So I think I'm gonna take just a very quick breather to make myself a drink and probably use the restroom really quick. Yeah, if anybody wants to stop by and say hello while I'm gone, I'll be back real soon. Just need a few minutes. And we're back. May have to double check the. I believe you shouldn't be able to hear me when I'm on that screen, but boy, does the fear set in anyway. I forgot that the guy at Taco Bell gave me a small drink for free because it was taking too long to make my food, and he was being a gentleman. So I've got a Baja Blast. And also, I recently had McDonald's because I feel like my life is going downhill, which means I have a McDonald's straw in a Baja Blast. Freaking VTube Studio. What the crap? Sorry, I'm trying to... Oh, boy. What in the world? Wait, what? What? Wait. Sorry, I'm getting, like, those... And of course my webcam is stopped. Wait, is that why it's doing that? I got some of those badoopadoo sounds that happen when, you know, USB devices unplug. Is the camera getting unplugged somehow? Okay, well now it's working. Okay, that might be worth looking into. What in the world? Okay, well, yeah, that might be. Perhaps that's what's going on. Okay, well, yeah, for those just now tuning in to our broadcast, my rig, despite how good it is still bad. Let's see. I'm just gonna redraw that. So, let's see, what do I have next on? Next conversation starter topic. What do you carry in your purse or wallet? Too many old ID cards is the short answer to that. Because again, I am an absolute pack rat who doesn't like to throw things away, and for whatever reason I keep thinking that it's going to be important that I have those that I have the last 3 driver's license with me at all times. They all have void punched into them, and yet I still carry them thinking they're going to be important someday, to the point that they need to be in my regular inventory. I'm gonna learn what's wrong with me one of these days. What is your favorite thing about winter? Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, you know what, when this question is coming up? As my Stardew Valley but lo-fi mix is playing the song Winter, one of the best songs in the album. What is your favorite thing about winter? It's most likely the weather. It's most likely the weather. You know what? I'm gonna get real vague here, and I'm gonna say the emotion. I love the emotion of winter. I am probably more of a fall guy. I don't want to put those words next to each other. I am an autumn man. There we go. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of good like that. That's in part because of the weather and you know, how everything looks outside and everything. But winter is fantastic too, and I do love the frigid cold on top of the brisk cold. But I just like the feeling of winter, of what it's like to be in winter, and it lasts long enough here that I can, like, you know that feeling when you're a kid that when it's Sunday and you're like, school tomorrow. You know, that frustrating feeling of like I can't enjoy Sunday because I know what's coming up next. Our winter here feels so long, like much longer than it was in California, where I was from, that like I don't seem to feel that. Like, I feel like we get pretty far through our winter before I start feeling the summer's coming kind of feelings, because our springs are usually pretty nice. It's our summers, you got it. It's the summers that'll get you, at least around here. Kind of music do you like to listen to? Well, you're hearing it right now. Here and only here on Sawyer 103 FM, the Stardew Valley Lo-Fi Mix. Let's see. My music tastes jump around. It depends on why I'm listening to the music. If I am cooking or cleaning or like wanting to listen to music, I have a radio station that I've made on Pandora that is, a good chunk of it is Owl City, which is my favorite band, but I just like happy music, if that makes sense. My missus thought at one point that I was trying to give her a hint early on into our relationship, because I really enjoy music that just makes you happy, that makes you want to dance and tap your feet. And unfortunately, a lot of that genre happens to be breakup music. So, like, we were like working out in the garage, and I'm playing so much Taylor Swift just over and over, to the point that she's like, do we need to have a talk? Do we need to is there something I should know? You know, it's just no, I really like the Red album. I'm sorry. At least I think it was the Red album. I'm not that much of a Swiftie. I like her music. As far as I know, the new stuff is still good. I'm not the kind of person that pays attention to artists as they're releasing music, kind of thing. So I truly have no idea what she's currently up to. And I'm sure it's great. I'm sure if I listened to her music, it would be fantastic. But I just haven't. But if I am listening to music because I'm doing something like this, where I'm working, good chance it's going to be the Stardew Valley mix. I can't tell you how many hours I have had this thing on loop. Normally it's the normal one, like just the regular Stardew Valley music playlist, but I found this lo-fi version, and it's been nice. I've been, I don't know, I'm not much of a lo-fi guy normally, but this is fun to listen to. You know, and supports original artists. That's a big one as well. If I'm doing like my work though, I tend not to do music. I tend to do to listen to, like, we'll say podcasts and things, maybe. Gosh, what is, I gotta, hold on, sorry, I'm gonna make a quick note for myself of a thing I keep seeing my puppet, get. I have these new, eye smears. I don't know if you can see them when my head turns, that I have these little smear frames specifically for my eyes, and I love it, but sometimes it gets stuck on them, so, let's see, eye smear, we'll say eye smear timer. I think I need to fix that. Yeah. So this is still doing test run work on my puppet. One of these days I'm gonna decide that it's good enough. Wow, I'm a hard to please parent, aren't I? What in the world was I talking about? I am so it's 2 a.m. for me. I probably should stop at some point, but I'm enjoying this. Wow, do I actually have to? Oh, what kind of music do I listen to? If I am doing work, I tend not to listen to music. I tend to listen to, we'll say, a podcast or something interesting. But depending on what kind of work I'm doing, again, changes what thing I'm listening to. Sometimes I'm listening / watching shows that I'm binge watching. I have watched through Bob's Burgers so many times, and I've just recently finished it again. Let's see. I think right now, as I'm working, typically, I have the Total Biscuit and Jesse Cox Terraria playthrough. From 13 years ago. My goodness. That was, I believe, actually my first introduction to Let's Players on YouTube, and and look where it got me. But yeah, I've mostly been throwing that on recently. Let's see. I think that's the bulk of it. I know when I was still at the diner, I had a playlist I had built of the Game Grumps remix songs, where that fans had created of the Game Grumps like words and phrases taken out of context or put behind a beat, that kind of stuff. I had a whole playlist full of those that I would listen to while I was working. Either that or for anyone who knows of College Humor / Dropout, and you're old enough to watch that stuff, the Game Changer series has a musical episode called Welcome to Mountport, and it is still one of my favorite episodes to this day. And I have listened to the Welcome to Mountport musical in its entirety on loop for like 8-hour shifts for I think 4 weeks working at the diner. Yeah, it's fantastic. I want to say that entire episode is on YouTube. Thank you, autosave. I want to say that the Welcome to Mountport episode, I think, is on YouTube. I know people have uploaded it to YouTube. If you can find someone who, if you can find if Dropout themselves have uploaded it, please do. Go check it out. As far as I know, I think that one is actually family friendly. I don't think the... Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm noticing a different issue with my puppet. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, as far as I know, the Welcome to Mountport episode, I believe, is all family friendly. It's just a, fun story of heroism and baseball. Who was the last person you had a good conversation with? That, most immediately, last person I had a good conversation with was my roommate. I'm gonna skip literally every detail leading up to this, but family troubles are family troubles. They happen. Our family is having a trouble right now, and that is literally all I'm going to say on the topic. But some of it happened today, and it went well, and me and my roommate, as is common with this kind of stuff, when hey, we're all dealing with too much right now, no one wants to make food, I should probably go and get burgers or something like that. And so my roommate and I ended up just doing a run to both Wendy's and Taco Bell and just having a chat through all of that, which some of it was talking through family drama, but for the most part it was just getting to laugh and hang out for a bit, and that felt really nice, and it felt very necessary. I can just repeat that, can't I? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was probably the last person. Oh boy. Oh. What is the best piece of advice you've received? Wow. Wow, that I'm not sure how to answer that one. Goodness, that is that got deep really quick. I remember like an hour ago when it was asking me what my favorite condiment was. Let's see. I might honestly have to skip this one. I don't. Best piece of advice, like that. I keep wanting to think like, oh, what did the guru on the mountain say? Oh yeah, private property. Like I don't, I don't feel like I have, like, I don't know, like there's nothing that's standing out necessarily, like immediately that I feel like at the very least would be interesting. I feel bad. I should have a way to answer that question, and I don't in the spur of the moment. I'm gonna keep thinking about that. Like next time I stream, that's gonna be like the first thing I do next time I stream. Where is it? Let's see. These are my notes, and we are going to grab that and paste it right there for the notes to figure out for next time. There we go. That is all of my fixing the puppet stuff and future live streaming things. I'm going to answer that question, I guarantee it, just when I've had a minute to think about it, and I'm not sipping a Baja Blast at 2 a.m. What was your least favorite subject in school? Goodness, have I got, like, how do I choose? How do I choose that one? Let's see. Okay. The problem is, what do you qualify as subject? Because I personally wouldn't qualify gym class as a subject. I'd say it was a class. I feel like I couldn't call that a subject, right? But subject, probably history. In the definition that I have, least favorite subject is history. Because, and I'm gonna say this now, as an adult, I love history. I will absolutely say, I love history. There is so much fun stuff that happened in history. And frankly, interesting stuff that happened in history. Not just fun stuff. Like, yeah, there are tragic things that happen, but I'm, as an adult, willing to learn them. But as a kid, I wildly was not willing to learn them because, like, I don't know, the class was so boring and just, it never, like, as an adult now, I'm like, you know how much of history is really cool to learn, you know, and I feel like we didn't get any of that as kids, but yeah, but in quite possibly the meaning that this has, oh, okay, sorry, got my first comment in there. Gym definitely counts as a subject. It teaches the required effort to maintain a health. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you do learn in gym. I guess you do. I didn't. Yeah, physical education. I didn't consider it that way. Yeah. Okay, so gym class. So I changed the answer then. Ignore everything I said about history. It's gym class. Like I never saw it as important. Like, I don't know it. You don't learn traditionally in gym class, and I don't know. I was never good with it. I'm at the same time though. I didn't hit my growth spurt until what, like maybe high school. I'm trying to think back to the all of the photos and the markings on the wall growing up. I'm pretty sure it was high school that I hit my growth spurt. So I was a hefty kid. I was a hefty boy, and let's see. I don't think I can see myself through here. So yeah, of course, gym class was my least favorite subject. Let's see. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Do you prefer a quiet night at home or going out to a big quiet night at home? Next question. If you had, goodness sakes, conversationstarters.com. If you knew you only had 24 hours left to live, what would you do? Wow. Okay. There's a large chunk of me that wants to say, like, prepare things for the people I love that I'm leaving behind kind of stuff. I have the that mentality of like I'm gonna like buy life insurance now kind of stuff. Like I need to make sure that when I go things are okay. I'm going to make a list of all of the passwords to accounts that things that might be needed, and like the bank account and all that stuff. But it wants me to give the fun ones. It wants the fun answers, I know it. If I have 24 hours left to live. Okay, like, no strings attached here. If I am not thinking of anybody else, and I'm gonna spend every dime that I have in my savings to enjoy my last day kind of thing. Honestly, yeah, like, I could see, like, going to an amusement park with the family. I'd probably try a roller coaster. I don't like roller coasters, but, like, the reason I don't like them is the fear for my life. But, hey, if I'm, if that's not gonna, if that's not a problem anymore, I'll do a roller coaster that goes upside down now. If the doctor calls me and says, hey, you got 24 hours to live, and yes, this is for you and not for Mike, I will, I'll go on a roller coaster that goes upside down. We'll call it like that. Let's see. Some password services also allow you to set up an automatic handoff after... Really? Oh, okay, that's super convenient. I know, like, Facebook had a whole thing about, like, you could say that, whoever's account this was, like, hey, this is my friend's account and they passed away, and they'll let you, like, log in to essentially shut the account down or something like that. But I think they had problems with it because too many people were doing it as a joke, and, like, they didn't have backup or backdoors or something for that, so you ended up, like, having accounts getting shut down that couldn't be turned back on again or something like that. Always found that one funny. Tell me about your dream house. I don't know. I'm not really one to plan like that, I guess. Or I'm gonna give a 5-hour answer to that question, so I'm gonna skip it. I'm getting weird ones right now. What is short and long-term goals of yours? Wow. That's a pretty fun one, I think. Short-term goal, you're looking at it. I would like to, get all of this stuff up and running and get it to a point where I can effectively work on this and other things. I can do my day job, I can do work around the house kind of thing, and just be able to sort of schedule this into stuff better. Long-term goals, yeah, like, I hate to say the same thing. Like, without getting too personal, I don't, like, there's parts of my personal life I don't necessarily want to share on this, in this format, but, long-term goals that I'm willing to share, there are things with my work that I feel if I, like, get more education and stuff like that, I could get into a better place there and a better place financially, and have a little bit more job security, we'll say. So I think, for example, I'm currently learning how to code Python. Was that it? Am I learning Python? No, C++. I'm learning C++. Am I learning C++? Shoot, which coding language am I learning right now? I'm learning one of the two, C++ or Python. I have no idea which. It's 2 in the morning, and I'm running out of Baja Blast here. So wanting to learn a coding language to help me with some of my work, get me a little bit more job security, and just be in a better place overall, I guess, financially speaking, which of course that's my long-term goal. But yeah, that's what it is. Is it looping on me? What's it doing now? Yeah, I'm getting some repeats. The incriminating ones are coming back out again. What is the longest you've gone without doing laundry? Okay, we're not gonna address my childhood when I literally didn't know how to do laundry, despite living in a room literally right next to the washer and dryer. Let's see. Easily months, I can guarantee it to you. I don't think this is when it happened necessarily, but I'm sure it, I don't know, I have no idea how to describe it. But essentially, we had a period of time, I think maybe 3 years ago, that things were going very poor. Some of the family members had lost their jobs, and we're still working on getting new ones. So it came down to a family of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 4 or 5 people. I think 5 at that point. That a family of 5 and only one person, me, had a job. And, we were desperately working on that, trying to remedy and, get people work and everything. But it was, for the moment, all me. And that meant I was just constantly pumping through all of the caffeine that I could and all the freelance work that multiple friends were willing to send to me every single day. I was working, I think, 18-hour days. I'm not even joking with you. We really, we're talking like we didn't have money for groceries kind of thing. We're not even working on getting rent paid at the moment. We're talking 4 years ago. This was right at the start of 2020. Sorry, I suddenly clicked in. This was COVID. This was right at the start of COVID that this started happening. Jobs were lost, shockingly unrelated to COVID. And as the one guy who was working online for the most part, I was able to keep my job, but I was the only one who had a job for the time being. It was a mess. And let's see, I think at that point I had managed to lose 80 pounds in my weight loss journey. And then in that time period, I was eating exclusively bread and butter because I like to bake bread, and it's crazy cheap to bake your own bread. Last I clocked it, I don't know what inflation has done to this number, but the last time that I clocked it, it was I think 20 to 30 cents a loaf to bake just a basic loaf of French bread, and just lived on that and put every single pound that I had lost back on over the course of, I think, 4 or 5 months that I was living like that. And every day we were doing the best we could to get out of that situation. But I'm absolutely gonna say I probably didn't do any laundry through that time, because that is water on the water bill that is using detergent and fabric softener when I want others to be able to use them. Like, that is probably that's most likely it. I'm gonna say, like, start of 2020, jobs issues were hard, and I guarantee you I did not wash my clothes for a long while. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of repeats on this site. I might have to find another one. I mean, I'm almost done here, so I just need like one more probably. Oh, would you rather be the best player on a horrible team or the worst player on a great team? Wow. Wow, that's, yeah, that, first off, I don't play sports. Probably the one that I'm best at would be dodgeball. Although it has been a long time. Of more traditional sports, I think the best one I'm at would be basketball. And I do enjoy that one a little bit more, I think. I don't know. I might still be able to play basketball now. Honestly, probably the best player on a horrible team, because if I'm the worst player, like, I'm not going to be on that team anymore. Like, the concept of being the one guy that everybody is going to be upset at for, you know, just constantly, I guarantee you I would not continue playing the game. I would significantly rather the team found someone to replace me. And I will most likely do that by force if they do not let me go from the team. Because I'm like, yeah, but like, if I'm the best player on the team, like, I can be more reasonable about it. I can be, dang it, autosave. Erasing my lines. If I'm the best player, like, yeah, I'm gonna be a lot nicer about it. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be that guy that's the, like, hey guys, like, we gave it our all. It's okay. Let's go get Pizza Hut. You know, like, we don't have to be bummed out about this. You say best player to give the team a chance to win. Yeah. I mean, obviously it depends on the game, but like, and your team numbers here. But like, if we're talking about like having one good person on a team versus a group of good people that are on a team, and I feel like any trolley will tell me that larger numbers are better. Yeah. Oh. What quality about yourself do you value most? I've always liked my creativity. Yeah, that's always been a thing about me. From, like, I remember even from my childhood really liking my creative side. That doing like short films and sketches and animations and stuff as a kid, I didn't really have a lot of the technology all the time to be able to do that kind of stuff. So like, I didn't have a good camera, or I didn't have a computer that could run the animation software that I needed. I didn't have the animation software I needed. You know, all that kind of stuff. But I would just figure out how to do it, and I really liked how creatively I could come up with, you know, working those problems and finding those solutions when I feel like a less creative person may not have pushed that far for it. I don't know. This is a question that requires me to pat myself on the back, so I am naturally defensive and uncomfortable talking about it. But I will say I'm very proud of my creativity, and leave it at that. Oh, do you follow your heart or your head? Oh, sorry. Ingenuity versus creativity. Oh. Can you break that down a little bit more for me? Like what? Yeah, like can you expand a little more on the definitions of those? Because I'm having trouble breaking them apart right now. Okay, yeah, here we go. And I'm just about done with this too. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs on here, actually. I'm gonna turn the song up for me. Hopefully it doesn't turn it up for you. Let's see. The ability to use what is at hand to generate a solution versus the ability to create... Sorry, I have a... YouTube has put an emoji in the way of me seeing the full thing you're saying here. How do I... Dagnabbit. How do I see your full question? Let's see. Versus the ability to create or newly represent idea. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm never going to use this emoji. I need to figure out how to get it off of the screen because it just blocks the the last few words of any comment that comes in here. The ability to use what is at hand to generate a solution versus the ability to create or newly represent ideas. Oh. I want to say the first one. I want to say the ability to use what is at hand. Is like in particular, I've had a lot of projects like freelance work that I wanted a very specific appearance for it, and rather than and just trying to find ways to do it using what I had as opposed to trying to learn 3D animation. It was easier to just use a physical television and a VCR to create some analog horror kind of work. Is that ingenuity? Is that I feel like that might be ingenuity. Using what I have to create something. Good question. Thank you. I definitely need help with the definition of that. I think that is it for this. Can I see what it looks like? This is gonna be a mess. This is a massive image file. Oh, yeah, it came up on a different screen. Whoop. Come on. Let me... The good people have waited. There we go. Okay, so obviously this makes zero sense. This is, eventually the new intro. So the title is going to be revealed here. Obviously, this is upside down. It didn't make any sense to change it in this side, but I have all of the animations set up. I just didn't like the coloring, so I went through and created all of these masks over all of the definable colors so that I could fix them in post more easily. Because otherwise, it was going to be a whole lot of masking work to do in After Effects. So I think I am probably going to call it there, and because I'm not even positive what the next step on this is. I didn't plan this far ahead. I didn't know if I would finish this tonight or not. So thank you, everybody who came out for this little bit. Thank you, Averson, for your questions, and for helping me test my comment section. Which I am now seeing has an indent feature. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, just thank everybody so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a really good night. So long, everybody. Hopefully I'll be back to recording and streaming stuff more regularly and at more decent hours soon.